And yes, we have a lot of things to discuss, so let's get to it. And here we are, we're back at the scene of the crime where this took place. Now, we'll talk about this extensively here in a minute, but right now is the official 100 Corporals Corner stainless steel cowboy skillet with that classic removable handle. They're dropping to my website right now. Simply go to my description box, click on corporalscorner.com and grab yours as we speak. 100 are dropping right now. While you're there, grab a skillet bag and patch. Since our skillet is one of the topics, let's go ahead and move next door and I'll show you what I go through to hammer one of these out.
And urge back on tight. Sunlight breaks through cold first light. Knife in hand, fire from stone. Learn to live when you're on your own. No gimmicks here, just test the truth. Hard-earned still pass to you. From silk to bills to edge control. Every lesson forged in the cold. Mastery before desire. Patience feeds the flame and fire. This is Corporals Corner. Stand fast, learn right, still crafted, not borrowed. Day or night, from the bush to the battle line. Still that lasts a lifetime. No hype, just honor. At Corporals Corner. What's your intent? Put it tight, axe stings true. Every move done the way to do. No wasted motion, no wasted time. Survival's a mindset sharpened and primed. Break 'em shout, it speaks in calm. Confidence built in rain and harm. From beginners to seasoned hands. This is where you learn to stay. This is Corporals Corner. Farm on and fire. Bushcraft built on standards, not desire. Learn to craft the right way, the disciplined way. No way, just honor. What does that mean? Infamous. It means go more than famous. Corporals Corner. Tree smarts, stay ready. Corporals Corner. Outstanding A to the F.
Now, the next thing I want to address about the skillets is I've been asked why I'm doing a removable handle. Here's why. They no longer exist. The skillets I make are a combination of 3 different skillets. And those that follow history and know about cookware, you know which 3 skillets they are. One is a cold handle, okay? And there's 2 other ones in there. One of them used to be an aluminum one in the late 40s, all through the 50s, and their handles came off. But they were made out of cheap steel, they'd bend, they'd fall right off. The pan itself was aluminum. We know nowadays that's not the best. So all those things are discontinued. I sat down and I thought, I want to make something that does not exist. I want to combine several different things into a pan that's a good travel companion that can break down for backpacking, for camping, and you can still cook all your food in there for one person and have a good time. I don't want it to warp. I don't want it to bend. 16 gauge steel or stainless steel, all made in the USA. And that's what I've created. Now, I could have done the classic flip handle, but here's why I didn't go down that road. And I threw a false flag out back in November like I was going to, but I never did. And here's why I never did. If you go on Amazon right now, you're gonna see a 6-inch, an 8-inch, and a 10-inch with a wire foldable handle. They all come from Alibaba, and they're being sold for $8. Now, how could I be honest with everybody and say, 1, I created that when it already exists. 2, try and sell it to you for 35 or 40 bucks with American steel when you could buy it for $8 or even $4 from Alibaba. See where I'm going with this? In a good conscience, I couldn't do that. None of my parts are made in China and attached to an American pan, claiming it's made in the USA or designed in the USA. Everything here is from a company. There's 3 companies I deal with, and all 3 of them are made in the USA companies, and I've shown these on my Instagram page. So all you gotta do is go back over there, scroll through, and you're gonna see, there's where the pan comes from, there's where the handles come from, there's where the handle wraps come from, and I make them at my house. So again, in good conscience, I couldn't copy something that China has for $8 and sell it for $40. That doesn't make any sense. When you could buy the exact same thing with the same clips and the same wire handle from China itself, Amazon, right? And we're moving forward with this design because this design does not exist. And yeah, there's other things that are close, but that specific design does not exist. It's uniquely my own. And that's what we're gonna stick with. Last week was our pre-order. We only launched 50. We got those out there. They sold out in 38 minutes. And I'll show you that right here. You can go to my website. First off, I want to give a big shout out to Jason Hunt of Campcraft Outdoors. He's the one that actually built my website last, I want to say August, September-ish last year. That's one thing that I am completely illiterate at. I have no idea. And if someone held a gun to my head and said, make a site, I wouldn't know the first thing to do. But he has a lot of experience with that, did that for me, and I've appreciated it ever since. And it just makes things a lot more user-friendly. I can just go on there and check analytics. I can move things around, send out emails, and it provides you guys with a place to go to that's actually better than Etsy and doesn't screw you guys over. So it's right there in real time, everything updates. But back to the website, if you look at that, the first one dropped at 10:01 a.m. And as you scroll up here, you can see that it's like 10:38. So roughly 38 minutes or so, 40 minutes, 50 were sold. And usually 1 to 3 hours, we get rid of 100. So we've been doing this steadily for about 18 months. And I appreciate it. If you go to the analytics section as well, and I scroll down there, you can see on there, we got the site sessions, and you can actually see over here, there's like what, 40 plus thousand, 23,000 over here. Sunday is always the busy day, and even shows you parts of the country. Direct, meaning going right to the site, is always the highest, followed by YouTube, and then there's Facebook, Instagram, word of mouth, phone app, things like that, emails. But I mean, for the past 3 months to have 43,000 sessions, I mean, I'm happy with that, and to be brutally honest, this is all private information that I don't have to show anybody, but I'm showing you that everything I'm putting out there, you guys are checking into, you are looking into it. If there's anything that you think that I should add to the site, let me know, because that way we can improve it for your benefit. ultimately, because you're the ones going to the site. I rarely go to my own site. I have to go behind the scenes and do all the packaging, but I rarely ever go, oh, Corporals Corner, let's go check that out. I mean, I just assume it works fine. So if you find some bugs or glitches, let me know. Now, I showed you how to do this with 2 hands. Now I want to show you what I have to go through, and I had to get innovative on a couple of features in here, but we anchored everything down, got it bolted to the floor. I can use one arm and my body weight. I improvised 2x4s over top of the actual plate to anchor it down with a C-clamp, so that way I could actually drill with one hand, which was horrible. That DeWalt drill probably weighs about 5 pounds. You're holding it the whole time, trying to push weight on it. So what I started doing was drill them halfway, take them off, and go to the drill press. Drill bit can't walk on me trying to hold with one arm, and it worked out a lot better. But we got it done. Now we went from 60 hours to about 72-ish. But we did a test run this week, and within about 72 hours a week, I could still get out 100. So that's the magic number, and we're gonna keep hitting that number no matter what, come hell or high water. Now, with all of that, I appreciate every one of you that's bought one of these pans. You're keeping my business going, and I appreciate it. And it's just continually evolving into bigger and better things. The last thing on the website that I want to talk about is you're going to notice it changing here in probably about 4 to 6 months. I mentioned I had an LLC, and I'm changing the company name, and the Corporals Corner logo will be changed as well to my company name. But that's going to take place probably the end of summer. So the pans are going to change. I have 4 other items I'm going to release. I told you there was 5. This is number 1. We have 4 different items coming as well. And 2 of those are going to be made in the USA, and 3 are going to be, well, let me back up. 2 and 3 is 5. So this is 1 made in the USA. 1 more is going to be made in the USA. Then I have 3 more coming from overseas. So we're going to enter that game as well. And once they get here, you'll be the first to know. Now, it's a lot of information, and I apologize, but I want to make sure that everything is out there in the open, and everybody understands the hows and whys of what's going on, why we're doing what we're doing. And you've watched my channel go from just basic skills in your backyard to actually going out to properties, buying properties, getting divorced, getting married, coming 360 all the way back into skills again, and then now we're going into becoming an entrepreneur and doing businesses, multiple businesses. And we'll get into all that throughout the year. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, my arm. This happened actually 3 weeks ago, and nobody knew about it because I don't like posting things like that. I was able to hide it well. I just bought the van, and I came to my gym, working out as usual. I'm in my late 40s, and doing what I normally do, getting my gains. My meal plan, I have a personal trainer, and getting everything going. Everything's great. I'm on track. I weighed, I want to say, 231 at the start of my journey back in, when was that? I want to say probably April of last year. It's almost been a year. And I'm down to 210 right now. Actually reduced my body fat, got cut up, started actually making gains, solid muscle mass that I hadn't seen since my 20s, and doing great. And my muscles were strong. Got to where I was doing 100-pound curls, 110, 120, and I said, I'm gonna do the 135. And I actually did it 2 weeks in a row. Only 2 to 3. That last one, got it up, nice. Rock hard bicep, started coming down, and you hear that infamous snap. For those that haven't actually enjoyed or had the benefit of dealing with something like this, it sounds just like a rubber band. Boom. And then your forearm vibrates, and you can actually see your bicep jump up your arm. There's no mistaking it. You can't get around it. There's not, well, I think I tore it. No, if you snap it, you know. There's no getting around it. The upside is when you do like a side profile shot and you're like looking at your bicep, you got a massive high peak. And then you start thinking, well, maybe I should rip the other side. And that way I'll just get that high peak, right? Looking like Sam Sulik. But the reality is your bicep is trash. What most don't know is your bicep has nothing to do with your arm movement. That's your rotator cuff and your shoulder. I can chicken wing all day. I can move my arm. I can put things over my head. The past 3 videos you saw me working on my van. And I could do overhead lifting and I could do everything. Let me backtrack. Not overhead lifting, overhead movement. Strength in my left side was probably about 30% from 100. And my left arm was always weaker anyways. So now imagine that. You have no strength. You can't even flex your bicep. You can't do anything. You can't pick things up like you used to. There's nothing there. It's not attached. It's done. Game over. You can't even fully extend your arm and carry something because there's nothing there. It feels like your arm's going to pull out right off your elbow. So that's what I was dealing with for 3 weeks. Nobody knew. And going through the whole insurance process, seeing people in between, filming videos. So I decided to work on the van 3 weeks in a row. My buddy, Jake Trent, shout out to him, Buckeye Bushcraft, has a cabin property on the border of Kentucky and Ohio. And so for the past 2 weeks, that's where I ended up at. Because I know it's a safe place. He lives 6 miles from there. If something were to happen to me, I could call him immediately. He'd be up there and get me to the hospital. So as we're going through all this, I want to say 2 weeks ago, about 5 days after it happened, I started noticing purple pooling blood on my forearm, my armpit area. And I was like, okay, I can handle this until I can get all of my consults done and everything. I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing, keep working, keep making the skillets, keep filming. The last day it was really hot and it started getting like inflamed, like infected. So I thought, okay, I can't hide this anymore. I have to actually take care of it. The last video I filmed, my surgery was scheduled for Monday, March 9th. And I went to his property, parked the van there. We did the overhead insulation. Once we finished with that, we drove to the opposite side, which is a 100-acre property. Got to this little flat cove area where I could stay at. Stayed the night there because it was too late to drive back. Got up at 2 a.m., drove home because it was Sunday morning, edited my video, dropped it, enjoyed my last 12 hours of freedom because after midnight, you can no longer eat. Monday morning, March 9th, had my surgery. So I apologize for doing the van videos 3 weeks in a row. Those that were looking forward to the overnights, to be honest, so was I. But I promised it overnight, so I gave you one. And newsflash for those that don't know, or those that have a problem with it, no one's gonna drive 40 miles out to the boondocks in the woods to work on a van. And if you think you are, then you might wanna rethink your life. You're gonna work on a van where you have access to tools and electricity and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to uphold my promise and do an overnighter. And most importantly, I want to try out the van that I spent all those hours working on. And I did so, and it worked out well. And by the way, the jalapeno spam and grilled cheese sandwich was bomb ass. I highly recommend it. Now, moving on from that, I go back on the 23rd for my 2-week consultation. We're going to unwrap all this, make sure the surgery went well. I may have to have a second one. What happens is when this occurs, and I'm going to show you a picture. Here's me. There's my right arm. You can see it. Now look at my left arm. The bicep is up on top. There's 2 ways to repair this. If it breaks in the middle, see, I have to be like Kingpin, be like have my rubber hand, be like, if it breaks in the middle, they can sew it back together. If it breaks high up or low, they have to attach to that tendon or to the muscle. In my case, it was the muscle. Pull it, drill a hole in the bone, pull the tendon and the new stuff through there, whatever they put on there. It's not sinew, but it's kind of like that. Pull it through there. On the back side of that bone, after they drilled through it, they got to put a metal strap. So now there's permanent metal on my arm. I'll be walking through a metal detector being like, beep, 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 get him, and be taking me down. But that's done so that it can heal through the bone and it's fully stretched. And then you gotta like lasso it and do a bunch of knots and tie-offs and hooks so they're inside the muscle and all that stuff. And the downside with that, 4 to 6 months before you're 100%. And that's doing all the therapies that go in between. So I'm looking at mid-summer-ish. I should be 100% and hopefully get my gains back. Because that's the most important thing, right? In reality, lifting is therapy. And those that don't do it, I highly recommend it. You got people playing games on YouTube, you got people playing games in life, you got all the disappointed people that just disappoint you regardless. 10 things start compiling on top of you, multiple businesses you're running, got to buy and sell and get stuff ordered for employees and blah, 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 blah. But you can get that hour to an hour and a half to just decompress and it all goes away. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Especially if you're in midlife like me. If you want to live past 60, you might want to try it. But that's what I went through. It's called a distal bicep rupture. You can go on YouTube, and I tried attaching the video here, but they're going to flag me for it. Just type in on YouTube distal bicep rupture, and it'll give you like a minute 40 animation of what they actually did to me. And you can see a live one. They carved open my arm, my forearm, and had to go in there and root around and pull all these tendons and stuff. And it was crazy. I tried to stay awake. I wanted to film it for YouTube, and they told me no. And I'm quite sure it's because of insurance reasons. But that would have been cool, right? But anyways, it's done. Hopefully there won't be a second one. If there is a second one, it's going to be because of damage that was caused from the bone area when it snapped. We had x-rays done. They said there was no bone damage, but the amount of blood that was in my forearm, they're afraid that the muscles got ruptured or something happened in there that they didn't see. As of right now, the blood is actually like going away. So I'm hoping that that stopped. If it did, a muscle will repair itself. So those that didn't know what was going on, now you know. But the very fact that I have to wear this for 6 to 8 weeks, how would I hide that? I'd be like, welcome to Corporal's Corner, and I'd be standing like this and be like, yeah, today we're gonna, obviously. And then not to mention the 10,000 questions I'm gonna get on every video. So what I'm gonna do here is when I have those questions in future videos for those that missed this video, I'm simply gonna refer you back to this video. Make it simple. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Now, let's go ahead and talk about the future of my channel. Now, everything I said I was going to do on my channel, I have done at some point. It might have taken me some time, but I've done it. Since day one, 15, 16 years ago, I said that I film on one of 3 properties that are 100-acre properties, and I'm going to continue doing so. Now, once I get cleared okay, hopefully on the 23rd, then I can get a different type of sling, and I can actually start doing some one-armed survival skills. And people have talked a big game about these over the years. I've seen people on YouTube. There's only one guy I've actually met that actually had one arm that would go out, and that was, I think his name was Muskrat Jim. Old shout out to that guy from years ago, decade ago. He was out there killing it, making shelters and doing bow drill with one arm, push-ups and all kinds of cool stuff. Doing it for real. Well, this is real. But the downside is I still have dexterity and mobility. So could I still do knots like this? Yes. Could I still do stuff? Yes. So I'm not truly only having one arm, but this is a wake-up call to me as far as priorities. And maybe I should go out there once or twice a month and actually practice these skills, these basic survival skills, with the use of only one arm. Use my strong arm or my strong hand, and then actually see what's possible and know what I have to work on, because this could happen to anybody at any time. My wrist isn't broken, my arm's not broken, I didn't destroy my rotator cuff, I didn't fall down, get my hand cut off. This is something stupid, where I just snapped a tendon, but I still have mobility, I just can't put weight on it, So that in itself is just trying to relearn everything and not overexert or try to extend or grab and do everything with my dominant hand and just hold or push or set and just, So bottom line, it's a learning curve that I have to get used to. So why not incorporate that into some type of skill set? All right, that was a lot of stuff, a lot of talking. I tried to break it up. I tried to add different scenes and clips in there, keep you guys interested. Now, the biggest question, and the biggest comment I'm gonna get, are you still gonna make videos? Are you leaving YouTube? Are you taking 6 to 8 weeks off? People are gonna comment, hey, you should lay low, you should just take a break, we'll be here for you. And I appreciate that you would be there for me. However, I'm still gonna drop videos every single week, regardless. Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, a video is gonna drop, and they have dropped for almost 6 years. and we're going to continue to do so. Why is that? Because I have limited use of one arm. Should I just give up? No. If I'm still working 72 plus hours a week making my skillets, why wouldn't I bang out a video also, right? So it's kind of counterproductive. They both go hand in hand. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, et cetera, are all free advertising. Those that have any type of marketing or business or sales experience know that. Why pay for something when you can do it for free and have them do it for you? Them meaning Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Google. So why wouldn't I take advantage of those things? Being a business owner, right? And those that have business sense or that actually are entrepreneurs will tell you this. Go seek out Gary Vee. Look at him on YouTube. He talks about TikTok, Instagram, Facebook all the time. They're free tools at your disposal. So those that don't understand business are going to complain, oh, he's selling this and he's doing that. Well, yes, he is doing that. He's doing that along with millions of other people who are as well. The difference is I'm promoting my own products that I make in America with American equipment and American steel and actually produce an item that does not exist. So I do those things, yes, and I'm going to continue to do so because it's smart business. And it also gives you guys a good product that you can't get anywhere else. And I am actually proud of what I've done and what I'm going to be doing. And in my opinion, that's what being alive should be, especially in these dark times we have right now. I mean, my generation grew up thinking World War III was going to happen. We did fire drills and nuclear bomb drop drills under desks and all kinds of stuff. And every movie you turn on was about the end of the world, fighting with Russia and all kinds of stuff. So, if I can get some type of glimmer of hope or some type of creativity and creative satisfaction and produce a product that everyone can enjoy and like, and it's in demand, I'm going to continue doing that for you guys. So rest assured, I'm not going anywhere. Videos will drop 10 a.m. Eastern on Sundays as usual. Skillets will be available as usual. And in about 2 months, we're going to have new items to drop as well. So look forward to that. Now, on that note, I've talked everybody's ear off. And once again, I apologize. I want to make sure that everything is out there, transparent and in the open, and everyone understands the hows and whys of what I do and what I'm going to continue to do. And those that don't understand it, I seriously apologize. And if those that understand but still want to play games, I feel sorry for you. On that note, let's go ahead and get out of here. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in one spot, my website, corporalscorner.com. Now, please do me that favor. Hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. As always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.